So Krishna is telling, just like so many rivers are entering in the ocean, but the ocean is not disturbed. Ocean remains very placid. In a similar fashion, although so many desires will enter the body, but only the person who does not try to satisfy those desires, he attains peace. If a person tries to fulfill the suggestions given by the mind of materialistic enjoyment, he loses his peace of mind. Why? It is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ijjistoka ivanalaha. Sensual enjoyment is actually not enjoyment, as we discussed previously. Also, it is mental concoction. There is hunger for higher pleasure, so we fall for whatever pleasure is available immediately. And this pleasure is not required. It is addictive in nature. Nobody needs to be addicted, but once we start following those addictions, we cannot help but getting carried away. It is not required to smoke, it is not required to drink. Similarly, it is not required to have any kind of material enjoyment. But once we start material enjoyment, the desires always keep on increasing. Kandu yanena karyoriva dukha dukha. Example given is, as an eczema patient has got many wet sores on his body, and those are very itchy sores. But if a person tries to rub or scratch that sore, the itching sensation only increases. And if you scratch more, finally it starts bleeding. The sore becomes worse. Disease becomes worse. So that is the nature. So that is why those people who are poor, their distress is not so much as that of rich people. Because poor person has hope. If I become rich, then I'll be happy. But rich person becomes hopeless. Now I've got so many resources, I have gained recognition, name, fame, money also, and I am trying to have all the sense objects, enjoyment I can have. Still, why there is dissatisfaction in my life? What do I do more? So they become more distressed and they come in depression because they do not see any hope. What else do I do to become happy? This is the nature of material happiness. It is like putting butter into fire. The senses always demand more. Today you have 1 cigarette, 2 cigarettes. Then for same kick you need to have 4 cigarettes, then 8. There is no end to it. Little sex, more sex. Varieties of sex, there is no end to it. So please understand, this is the nature of material happiness. Nobody educates. The best of the brains in the world, they do not know. After topping in the country in various examinations, making the best of technical and business plans, ultimately they do not understand. Because unless prasadam, there is mercy of Lord, it is very difficult to understand this knowledge. That actually, Krishna, God is telling, a person who tries to satisfy the desires which are always flowing within this mind and body, he never attains peace, because that is not the design. All the material enjoyments are but addictions. You do not need them, but once you start enjoying them, you cannot stop having it. So one who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires. Why he is not disturbed? Because he is relishing higher pleasure. Such a person attains peace. So is it not very simple logic? So when people tell, oh, what is day for us is night time for you, you are having other, please explain this, that this is real life, which we need to actually have. It is common sense. Then finally Krishna is giving the conclusive knowledge in this chapter. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakama kami. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.